All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the New York Jets firing former head coach Robert Saleh. Now, the groundbreaking news broke onto the scene this morning in the National Football League when the New York Jets fired former head coach Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh started off the season 2-3 with the New York Jets this year, but the team has decided to fire him before their big Monday Night Football game against the Buffalo Bills Week 6. Now, Robert Saleh is the first NFL head coach that has been fired from the 2024-25 NFL season. It was also reported that Robert Saleh was escorted out of the building this morning by team security and was not allowed to meet with his players, his staff, to tell them the news that he was fired from or relieved from his duties being the New York Jets head coach. Wow. Now, that is crazy that he didn't even get to say goodbye, address the team, that what was going on. The man was escorted out of the building and the facility immediately in New York. Can the man catch a break? You're already getting fired. Can you just say your goodbyes? Can you just say what you think is best for the team moving forward? Just say your piece. But no, he got escorted out of the damn building before he even got to announce what was happening to the team. And the team probably found out just like us. Fired. Without anything. But I'm going to get into this. Now, my thoughts on this, I don't disagree with the decision of Robert Saleh being fired by the New York Jets. Me personally, I always thought that Robert Saleh was a suspect head coach in New York. No matter if he had to work with Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, or any other quarterback in New York, I always thought to myself, with this roster, how could you not make it work to at least make the playoffs one time? But Robert Saleh finished his New York Jets career with 20 wins, 36 losses. It's just the way that they handled the situation with him not saying goodbye to the team and allowing the team, him telling the team that he basically got fired. I didn't like that, how they escorted him out of the building immediately. But Robert Saleh is going to be remembered as a New York Jets head coach that didn't do a damn thing in the Big Apple. Just like Adam Gase, just like Todd Bowles. And that realistically, the last time the New York Jets had a good head coach was Rex Ryan years ago. So, however, I think this was a scapegoat to cover a lot of players and staffing's asses for Robert Saleh getting the boot in New York. I point the finger to the franchise quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a part of this mess because you brought in Nathaniel Hackett, your former offensive coordinator for the Packers. You saw the damn mess that he did as the Broncos head coach a few years ago. You brought him in. This offense is not producing to what they should be doing. It's very lackluster. There's not really a lot of productivity in this offense. The offensive line stinks. The running game can't get going. Nathaniel Hackett can't make adjustments on the fly in the ball games. Aaron Rodgers is not playing like a damn top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. Like we know he's one of the greatest of all time. A 4-time MVP is taking no accountability for what the hell is happening to this New York Jets team this season. Some awful losses to the Broncos. Scoreboard watching or not, he turned the ball over 3 times against the Minnesota Vikings in London. He got basically a welcome back to the NFL treatment week 1 when they lost to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry, but when you miss volunteer training camp and you don't have the reps with this offense and you're not doing anything to elevate this team, you can fire the head coach all you want. But things are not going to change in New York, and I'm pointing the finger to the franchise quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, because he's a part of this mess of what's going on. The offense was actually the more of a problem than what the defense has been so far in the National Football League. The defense isn't playing terrible, but the offense has been the worst phase of the ball in New York this season for the New York Jets. So I don't understand. If anybody that really should have been fired, how the hell is Nathaniel Hackett safe, but Robert Saleh was fired? I don't get that. I really believe that the defense has been the better part of this New York Jets team this season. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers deserves a lot of this blame. He's played pretty bad and looks like an old shell of himself. I understand he's 40 years of age, but damn it, that arm has not gone anywhere. He's not playing up to par. He's not reading defenses correctly. Not holding himself accountable for starting off 2-3. And Aaron Rodgers, I've said it on this podcast time in, time out when I talk about the GOATs who have possessed the football and thrown it behind an offensive line. Aaron Rodgers has the best arm in NFL history. I've said that. He's a 4-time MVP in this league for a damn reason. Look at the other all-time greats. And I hate to compare him, but damn it, Tom Brady. Tom Brady always held his players accountable. Look at his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He went out of his way to get to learn the receiving core in Tampa. When he went out there and got kicked out of a local park during COVID because he had so many people around him practicing in the park trying to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense to the level that he thought they could be at. And what happened? They won a damn Super Bowl. Look at what Peyton Manning did, elevating several offenses in his time with the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. You mean to tell me Aaron Rodgers, somebody that still has something to prove, somebody that still has a chance to win a Super Bowl with this damn New York Jets roster, wants to miss voluntary training camp and play hooky? When you know you missed all last season, when you know the offensive line was bad, when you know this offense was not playing up to par because you had to suffer with Zach Wilson and several other quarterbacks. I'm sorry, but if you think that Davante Adams can save this team, you're mistaken. Davante Adams, I wouldn't even want to be with the New York Jets right now because who's to say somebody else isn't going to get fired next week? Who's to say somebody's not going to get benched next week? A star player for the New York Jets. They're just all over the place. And Robert Saleh, even though I just said I'm not surprised this happened, but when you think about it, he was the best damn coach on this coaching staff. So who are you gonna put the blame to next? Because Aaron Rodgers is gonna do anything in his power not to take the blame for this. And here's another wild stat for you guys. I know I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I got the poster in the back for you guys watching. For you guys listening and follow the podcast, you already know. But the New York Jets are a poverty damn franchise because this is a wild stat for you guys. Last year, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles week 1, obviously 4 plays into that Monday Night Football game against the Buffalo Bills, okay? Week 1 last year, week 1 through 5 last year, when the New York Jets had Zach Wilson under the helm, they scored a total of 93 points week 1 through week 5 last season. Now this season, week 1 through week 5 with Aaron Rodgers under center, this New York Jets offense has scored the same amount of points, 93 points. So what is really the difference? You just got a Hall of Fame quarterback under center right now for this New York Jets team. Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive scheme is still lackluster, no adjustments, just like last season. The offensive line still stinks. The running game can't even get going with Breece Hall and company. I mean, what is really the difference with this team from last year to this year? And don't get me wrong, I will say, I'll close it out by saying this. The New York Jets still have plenty of time to turn around. Maybe we'll see how the season goes. Maybe it is going to be a good decision that they went ahead and fired Robert Saleh heading into week 6, because you could have waited a little longer. It could have been too little, too late to get back in the mix for the playoff cushion and seeding purposes. But now it's week 6. You got a big Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills. I think this AFC East is still up for grabs. I mean, the Jets, if they win this game, they get right back into the mix. If you lose this game, it's bad news because you really got to play well from here on out. I mean, the Patriots are rebuilding, obviously. The Dolphins can't do a damn thing without Tua Tagovailoa by their side. So it's basically a 2-team race right now between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. So we're going to see what happens Monday night. But I feel like deep down, if this season is another 7-9 season or 7-10 season for this New York Jets, possibly 6-11, Aaron Rodgers is going to retire and not look back because he's not going to want to be a part of this New York Jets team. But those are my thoughts on Robert Saleh being fired by the New York Jets.